Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am Dominic Copeland, and this is the Ish that needs to be said. So, if you haven't joined us before, the Ish that needs to be said is about saying all the things that we in society either don't say or don't know how to say, but need to say in order for us to be able to progress forward, for us to be able to create true change, true value that'll make a true difference within our lives, the lives of others, and the society around us. So, if you haven't tuned in before, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to share it, make sure to subscribe. Added a ton of new subscribers, so thank you everybody who's been tuning in, who's been watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know your thoughts. So all those people that have, true things to say, true intent. We got a lot of people out there that just like to do nonsense, so we don't tennis that, as JC once said. We don't respond to the nonsense. We respond to those that open themselves up, open up their heart, their spirits, their souls. You have to be vulnerable in this thing called life, in this game. I know today we're taught being vulnerable, like I just was, being vulnerable is a bad thing. It means you're not good. As some of the kids would say, you're trash. Being vulnerable is how you grow. It's how you connect, because other people know I don't have to be perfect, because they're not perfect, and they know they're not perfect. Only way you can be perfect is if you're lying to yourself and you're not doing things so that no one can see the flaws that you have. If you're just trying to constantly be on the attack other people, attack other things that you see about them so that you can make yourself feel like you're somebody, but you're nobody if you have to do that. I'll say that again. If you have to attack people to make yourself feel valued, to make yourself be seen, you're nobody. You shouldn't have to attack other people. Should be able to build them up, should be able to uplift them, should be able to believe in them. And if you give them that, that's true power. Because they'll give you back things that you can't make them give you, that you can't pay for. They'll give you their heart, spirit, and soul. Because you believe in them, they'll believe in you. So my friends, that's some word and advice for today. Stop all the nonsense, stop all this, what they're doing today. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And, you want to be savage, go ahead. But that's going to come back to bite you in the behind eventually. You want to be lit, as they say, trying to get all these people to look at you and pay attention to you by putting down other people or attacking other people. You lose. Because eventually those people won't be on your side. They won't be there when you need them. And when you need them, there won't be enough money that you can pay them. That's the difference. I was watching a movie, and in the movie it said something that's been asked for over the years, shit in all the gangster movies, would you rather be loved or feared? Some say, would you rather be respected or feared? Well, if it's true respect, you don't have to worry about fear. If other people understand who you are and what you're about, what you stand for, they don't need to fear you. Because if you fear something, I know myself personally, I've overcome all of my fears. I attack my fears. I don't let my fears stand in the way. So if there's something or someone that I was afraid of, I'd go after that so that I no longer have to be afraid. So if you want to be feared, go ahead, but that's just putting a target on your back. Because eventually people are going to stop being afraid. They don't want to feel that way, especially around other people. So they're going to come for you. But when you're respected, there's no reason for them to have to come after you. Because you're not keeping them from anything. You're uplifting them into something. And if they have the petty personality where they have to try to come at you because of that, guess what? That's okay. Because with the respect that you have and you garner, you know that you can make it other ways. You don't have to be in that lane that they're in. Go ahead, take that lane. Take the little bit of change that comes with it. Have fun. I'm going off, living my life. I don't have to do this. I just gave you an opportunity. And now that's going to come back to me tenfold. I don't have to worry about it. God bless you. Have a great day. Don't tennis the haters. Don't tennis the nonsense. There's too many haters, too much nonsense. And if you get yourself into it, my friends, it's a no-win proposition. Because you're always going to have to sink to their level. But they can never rise to yours. You always have to sink to their level, but they can never rise to yours. That's the difference in this game called life. Who you're about, what you're going to be about. So I'm dropping some game on you, as they say. I'm giving you some jewels, some diamonds, some information and tools that you can use to change your life. All right. And that leads me into what I want to talk to you about today, which is, my friends, education. Yes, education. I've talked about it before in different ways, but I want to talk about it again today in a much different way. So, I don't know if you ever heard of this book called Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't, go get it, go read it, change your life, right? And there's also Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice, which is amazing. And everyone say, I don't want to hear about black this and that, blah, blah, blah. No. It'll change your life because it talks about people who come from some of the most dire of situations, coming out of slavery and everything else, or around the time of slavery, when that still exists, and how they were able to rise above and beyond the conditions that were presented to them to still be successful, to still make a difference, to still contribute in meaningful ways. How they could think and grow rich even in the toughest and worst of times where everything is set up against you, from the laws, from the people, the entire nation, but you still rise above and beyond to make it, quote unquote, make it. That's powerful. Don't cut yourself off from learning just because, oh, I don't want to learn from these people or from a woman or from this or from that. That's absurd. If the game is there, go get it. And game is the knowledge, the information, the know-how, the how-to. We call that game. If the game is there, my friends, go get it. Don't run from it. Go get it. Run to it. So no matter who's presenting that game, I don't care if it's a homeless person that's presenting that game to you. If they got the game and the knowledge, even in the area that they're in, to show you things not to do, to stay away from, go ahead and pick it up. Utilize it. That's an education, a real life education that you can't pay for without going through some serious things in your life. And you don't want to go through those things, my friends. You just don't want to go through those things. So, education. Think and Grow Rich. The book Think and Grow Rich, it talks about education, and it says at its root, education, the word educio, which I believe is Latin, and it stands for from within. So bringing about from within. So education is a process of bringing about from within. So it's not about me coming to you with all my knowledge and all my skills and saying I'm going to give this all to you with a curriculum or anything else. That's not what it's about. That's part of the process. But before I can get to that, I have to be able to relate to you, to tap into you, to tap into what you want, what you're looking to accomplish. Why are you here? Why are you here sitting in front of me, standing in front of me? Why? If I don't know the answer to that, my friends, it's going to be hard for me to reach you, for me to connect with you, for me to touch you, for me to educate you. Because I'm bringing from within the things that you have, the passions, the desires, the wants, the needs. And if you never know where to start with the needs. What do you need? Why are you here? And in the classroom, you might hear people say, students say, I'm here because I have to be. I don't want to be here. I have to be here. Okay. If you weren't here, what else would you be doing? I can get answers from, oh, I'm doing my own business, to, oh, I just be home sleeping or nothing. Okay. Well, if you're going to do nothing, then that's not a good plan, and this is a plan that's better. So tune in, do what you need to do. And when you have some other plan that's better that can get you to where you want to be in life, then let me know and I hope you get there. But until such time, this is the plan. This is the plan. This is what we're here for. So let's rock and roll and get into it. Now, once you tap into them, find out what they need. Need in life. What are you going through? What does your situation look like? What do you need? I'm trying to make it through. They might say, I'm trying to make it through. I'm just trying to find a way to survive. I'm dealing with all this other stuff. My parents, my family, my living situation. Maybe they don't have a parent that they're living with. Maybe they have a caregiver. Maybe they're ward of the state. Maybe they're homeless. Who knows? But tap into that, because if someone's homeless or someone's dealing with abuse at home, or they're dealing with, no mother or father, the ward of state, whatever it might be, there's bigger things that they're dealing with than the education that you're trying to give them. They don't care about that. This is from a psychological standpoint. Until people have their needs met, they don't really care about the other things. If someone comes to you and says, I'm starving to death, I need something to eat, do you have food? Well, let me tell you about all this other stuff. Let me educate you. I don't need your damn education. I just need some food. Okay. You got some food? Then as I'm having the food, we can talk about all that other stuff, but I need this met right now. Because if not, I won't be alive much longer. So food, shelter, water, all the basic needs must be met before you can really tap into. Those are barriers to education. Excuse me. Barriers to education. And until you can tap into overcoming those things, it's going to be hard to educate a person. Because it's not like they don't care. It's not like they don't want to care. But from the base roots of who they are, just like any of us, I got to go take care of this base need first. And if that's not met, then me being here with you is counterproductive. Now, if you can meet that and you can connect how were you feeling when you had that need, that starvation you were going through, that hunger, that thirst, that pain? How did that feel? Because most people will do more to run away from pain than they will to seek pleasure. Our two motivating factors, and this is psychology, it's Tony Robbins and so forth, our two motivating factors are fear, running away from something, or pleasure, running towards something. So now I have to tap into connecting into that fear, into that pain. No fear or pain. Connected into that. People want to get away from pain so they can seek pleasure. But pain is a great motivator. That's why they have capital punishment, because they're saying, okay, if you experience enough pain, you won't do those things. That's why they used to have beatings and everything else. Experience enough pain, that'll change your behavior. That was the thought process. It's not always the case. But when people are in pain, they want to get away from pain, right? Want to get out of it. Even if they don't go towards pleasure, pleasure itself is not having pain. It's just the absence of pain. So now if I can tap into what did that feel like when you were going through that? And I can get it deep into them, where they can feel those emotions. Then I can say, well, how would you like not to have to feel that way again at some point in your life? That would be great. That would be amazing, but I don't know how. Well, I'm showing you how right here. Through this education that can help shape you, that can help set it up so that you'll always have a path forward, so that you'll always have opportunities, so that you can always be generating an income for yourself and for your life, so that you never have to feel that way again. Would that be important enough for you to listen, for you to show up, for you to put in the work and do the things that are necessary? What do you think about that? And then wait for the response. It might be yes, might be no, but for the most part, they're going to want to hear the things that you have to say after that. Why? Because that pain is so great, and until they get away from that pain and stay away from it, they're going to go towards the thing that keeps them from it. And if that education is connected to it to keep them from that pain, then guess what? You're going to have someone deeply invested in the messages that you have to say. And when they stray from that path, how do you get them back on? Simple. Tap back into that pain. Remember you're talking about how you felt. Remember how it felt? The things you have to go through. But what you're doing right now is putting you one step closer to going right back into that pain. And if that pain's strong enough for them, they're going to do anything to avoid it, to go away from it. And to ultimately not just base it upon pain, but base it upon pleasure. Okay? So in the future, this is what your life could be like. And paint that picture. Have them paint the picture. What do you want your life to be like? Where do you want to live? What type of house? What type of environment do you want to live in? And when they give you all that information, well, what if I tell you, just like this can help keep you from the things you don't like, it can get you to the things that you do want. And that way now you have push and pull, right? You can either use motivating them with that future pull and the things that they can get through the education, or what it'll feel like, the pain that they're going to if they don't get it. And the pain part, if you go through Tony Robbins, he calls that the Dickens. Because Charles Dickens, obviously, and Ebenezer Scrooge, and all the pain that they had to put him through so that he would want to change. When Christmas came, he wanted to live. He wanted to be a different type of person. But the only way he could change was to go through enough pain to encourage him to change. And then in that moment, drop of a dime, he changed. He became something different, right? He became a better person because he did not want to experience the pain that was headed towards him. So that's one great tool you can utilize when you're trying to educate people or get them to pay attention. But it's also a tool you can utilize on yourself so that you can continue forward, so that you can get onto the path you want to. A student asked me, how do I stay focused? I said, this is how you stay focused. But you have to have something meaningful enough for you to stay focused on, and a reason to stay focused on it. And then after that, one of the greatest tools you can have is to now become that person. I talked about this before. Become the person to do the things that you want to achieve. As Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. What type of person do you need to be, or who do you need to be? What qualities do you need to have? What skills do you need to have to accomplish the things you want? If you want to be a home buyer, what does that mean? What do you need to have? Who do you need to be? What do you need to do in order to accomplish that? There's certain things that you can do to get you to the dream that you want. You just have to be able to do those things. Become the person that does those things to have what you want. Be, do, have. Be, do, have. So that's part of the process. That's part of the formula of getting you to from where you are to where you want to go. So just like the new year came around, and I'm saying all this stuff also because you're coming up on a time where many people had those quote unquote resolutions. I'm going to resolve today to change my life. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do all this great stuff. I'm going to blah, 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 right? And then you get to, beyond January, going into February, all those things start to vanish, wash away because the motivation for them is no longer there. But this is how you can not just keep the motivation for them, but be the person who will achieve the things that you want to accomplish. Because that's the most important part of this journey, being the person. Because once you are that person, now you don't have to try to motivate yourself into it every day. It's who you are. These are the things that you do that lead to what you want. Just like if you're a jogger, every morning you get up and do what? You go jogging, regardless of the weather. This is what you do. This is who you are. This is the habit that you have. And you've done it so long that it just sticks with you. That it's hard for you to not go without it. And if you should go without it a day, it's almost painful because a part of who you are is not there. And you want to get back to that as soon as possible. So if you didn't do it in the morning, you know what? Maybe for lunch, I'll go do it. The afternoon, I'm going to do it. Or definitely by tomorrow morning again, I'm picking right back up. Because that's not who you are. That's not what you're about. That's now the standard, my friends. The standard. Be the standard. And that's in education overall. They talk a lot about standards, which is good, which is necessary. There's a lot of great things in education. It's just about how you go about putting these things into place. How do you go about setting that standard? I can set all the standards that I want. But if I can't tap into you, who you are, and what you're about, and get you to tap into the standard and relate the standard to who you are and where you're at, standard doesn't mean anything. Standard has to be alive. It has to be viable. It has to be meaningful to you and your life and the things that you're going through. The standard has to be able to help you to change your life, help you to accomplish the things you want, help you to be the person you want to be, or to keep you away from the things that you don't want to have happen to you. That's the beauty of the standard. You can't just have a standard and the standard is just a standard on its own. Yes, the standard is the standard because this is what it's going to take for you to get to where you want to or keep you from where you don't want to be. So that's why you have the standard. Because if you fall below that, then all of a sudden, no, it's not the direction I want to go in. It's not who I am. It's not what I'm about. I'm getting back to here. And it's steadily increasing and growing that standard as we go along. That's powerful. That's life changing. That's life altering. Become who you desire to be. Don't sit around waiting for that person to pop up. And the special magic of this, give me a second, I'm going to tell you the special magic of this. That's going to help a lot of people out there. It's going to help you, my friends. Helped me. It's going to be a true great benefit. The ish that needs to be said. The ish that needs to be said. So why is all this important? The education, the tapping into things, so forth. Because how do you show up? If you're an educator or teacher, we're all educators, right? Because people are always watching us, always learning from us. We're always teaching. We're always learning and growing too. We're all students. We're all educators. So it's about who you are and how you show up in that role. If you want to, for example, I'm going to go into relationships, personal relationships. If you want to find the right person to date, but your life is off track, you're doing all the craziest things you can, you find the right person, but you're not into them because they don't represent all the nonsense that you're about, but you want to get away from the nonsense, but you can't keep yourself from it. Then, as the quote goes, my dear Brutus, the fault lies not within our stars, not within the stars, but within ourselves. You have to change you. You have to become the person that you would want to become in order to attract the person that you want. You have to become the person that the other person would actually date. So if this is all you want, I want this type of person. I want that. Someone's kind, that's caring, that's this, that I can trust. Okay, what is that person attracted to? What do they want out of someone else? Because those are the traits that you have to display. And most of all, if you have to stop worrying about that so much and just start being. Start having that confidence, start having that love, start attracting. You are what you attract, right? If you're attracting all this nonsense to yourself, then you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what about me is attracting all the nonsense? What about me makes these people think that I'm the right one for them when I know they're not the right one for me and they don't represent anything that I truly want? Because on the surface, you might say that deep down below, but on the surface, you're showing those people that you represent exactly the nonsense that they want. That's the truth. And I say this because I've said this before. The only thing we can truly control is ourselves. I can't control the moon, the sun, and the stars, but the sun can always be shining on the inside. I can control that. I can control my internal temperature, right? I can control the brightness within me, the love within me, the passion within me, the caring within me. Those are things I do have control over. So the more I fine-tune those things, the more I start to attract the things that I truly want instead of the things that I don't want and that I don't even know that I'm consciously or unconsciously attracting. I'll say that again. When you become the person you want to, who accomplishes the things you want, you don't have to go out and grab those things as much as you start to attract them to you as you continue to move forward. And the things start to fall in place for you to get to where you want to go. So the person starts to come to you because they're attracted to you that you want. If you're teaching in schools, or the situations that allow you to grow to become the person that's going to be what you want to be for your students, what they need, those situations will start to come to you so that you can grow and develop within yourself, within your students, and then that truly affects the world around you. So if you want to go on a journey of education, if you want to truly be educated, go on the journey. the journey towards more, the journey towards different, the journey towards the things that you desire in this life, the journey towards what needed. Who do you want to be for your students? How do you want to show up? What do you want to see within them? And then you backwards design, as they say, and start to become that person, start to building those things necessary for them to be what they need to be. And it's a challenge each and every day. It's a challenge each and every day. It's a challenge. Everyone's different. Every student takes something a little bit different to tap into them. You're not always going to succeed at it. Some days you fail and you feel miserable and you feel bad about yourself. Don't feel bad because you're still in the game and you're working towards it every day. This is not easy. Education is not easy. Being a teacher is not easy. Being an educator is not easy. You will fail. Sometimes you feel like you're failing more than you succeed, but know that in the process of those quote unquote failures, you're actually driving yourself towards success. Just be willing to go through that process. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back sometimes. I think Paula Abdul and the wolf or whatever that was dancing with her in the video. I think she said that. I take 2 steps forward, you take 3 steps back. Sometimes that's what it feels like. But overall, if you continue, you look back, you're like, wow, I've come a long way. I've come a long way from where I was before. But if you quit, if you give up, if you throw in the towel, then there's no longer a path at that point in time forward for success. Sometimes you have to come back to it. You know, maybe that's what it is, or maybe it was showing you that that's not the right path for you, and that's okay. You know, but if you want to succeed, then you have to walk forward with faith. You have to walk forward with ultimate belief, knowing that you can and that you will, and that it's only a matter of time and what you do within that time. Say that again. It's only a matter of time and what you do within that time. So be willing to fail forward. Again, be willing to fail forward. Because sometimes that's your best path to becoming the person you need to do, you need to be, to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish and have the things that you desire. So to all my educators out there, it's tough. It's difficult. Things are changing. Society is changing. Students are changing. The world is changing. Parents are changing. Districts are changing. Leadership's changing. Administration's changing. But you're changing also. Just do your best to forge a path forward where you can be the person to accomplish things that you desire. Because at the end of the day, when you look around, as I say in college, when you first get there, and look to your left, look to your right, because those people that are sitting next to you won't be there. But realize you're looking over at two people are looking over at you. Someone's going to be there. Someone's going to progress forward. Someone's going to have the heart, the courage to maintain the course, to do the things that are necessary to be done, to become the person that will achieve the things that make a difference. You make a difference day in and day out. Appreciate you. Love you. Continue forward. This is Dominic Copeland, and this is the Ish That Needs to Be Said. Make sure to hit the like button, to subscribe, to share. Let's build this village and community. And at some point in the near future, I will start to go live, my friends. So to all my great and amazing people out there, let's build this community. One step forward. Might go 2 back, but we're going to continue forward. Talk to you soon. Keep believing. Keep the faith.